Hello and welcome to the 6.3 EliteMobs update, the Dead Moon update. In this video I'll be showing you the main features that I've added and just a short demonstration of all the new stuff. So without any further ado, here we go. Alright, so for those wondering, the Dead Moon is a reference to a new event that has been introduced in this new version of EliteMobs. You can launch it manually through /em event Dead Moon, or you can wait for the correct settings to kick in. You'll need at least 2 players online and a certain amount of time to pass, varying on how many players are online as per the default settings for events. It follows the same rules as for treasure goblins. Treasure goblins are twice as likely to happen as the Dead Moon event, as the Dead Moon event is a little bit more intense. Now, the Dead Moon event, as you might have noticed, has been queued. It will not start until the correct circumstances occur, and these circumstances would be a new moon. Now, Minecraft does have a built-in lunar phase system, which I've used. So if we go to the right moon, that's not the right moon, it's the next one probably. That's the one. And if I go, let me just get some basic here. But if I go around, I will spawn a zombie king as the first mob that spawns in the nighttime when the new moon event is active. Will spawn a zombie king. And it's over there. It's pretty easy to spot because it is very much on fire. Now, the Zombie King has a bunch of unique powers, and they are pretty cool. I have to say they're probably the best ones I've made so far. Now, I'll be trying to get it to show it to me. There we go. That's the first power. That will be summon minions. Now, as you can see, it has summoned a bunch of the returned mobs. They each are level 50 right now, and there's 10 of them. And he can do this every 20 seconds. So that's a lot of mobs for players to deal with. The Zombie King itself is level 1000, so it is very much an event and something that players should band up to slay. This would be the flamethrower power. Okay, that's cool. As you might see, it has an animation. It deals damage. You could see the actual damage indicators going off. That's another thing that has been changed for this update. Now, any kind of damage dealt to mobs, regardless of whether or not it was dealt by a player, will actually make the damage indicator show up and show the health of the mobs. Also, you can turn that off through configs now. And if we can trigger the last power that the Zombie King has, that would be great. There we go, that's perfect. That's the Unholy Smite. It deals damage in a radius. All of these, oh, and actually I lied. There is one more power, and you just saw it, although it's a bit hard to tell because this is a flat terrain. So let's just go upstairs while I talk about the other changes. But yeah, each power has a warning system that kicks in ahead of time. So it is perfectly possible to dodge any and all of these powers. I found that to be very important. This is a good time to show that there is a new command as well. It's called spawn boss mob, and then you introduce the name of your boss mob. Currently you have the Zombie King and you have the treasure goblin. Let's go with the Zombie King. And if you, let's use snowballs just because it's easier to spam. If you hit the Zombie King a bunch of times, you will notice that around the 16th time you hit it, it would be almost, as you can see, that is very deadly. So players do have to move during these events. As you might notice, the Zombie King left, and this is a new power. The Zombie Kings and the treasure goblins are now able to just straight up leave a trap if they've been hit a certain amount of times in a row without dealing damage themselves. So it should be harder for players to just trap them in 2 block deep holes, or mob farms or any contraption like that, it should make the fight a bit more challenging. That was a requested feature for a while, so I went ahead and implemented that one. Now, aside from these important matters, there were smaller changes, but still important ones, like the reload loot command should now not duplicate loot, which was an issue before. It would duplicate the listings, so the old loot was still there, and then whatever you reloaded after, whatever you added afterwards would also show up. So that was a minor issue, but that prevented people from actually like removing items during runtime or just properly reloading in general. So that has been fixed for this version. Also, I'm not going to show it here, but if you buy items from the shop and your inventory is full, you will no longer waste money buying nothing. Instead, the shop will simply tell you that you can't buy anything because your inventory is full. Aside from that, there have been smaller fixes that you might still notice if you've been running the previous version extensively, such as some console errors regarding players dying and custom messages. Those have been fixed. Now when players die from mobs, it should also show the name of the boss mob if they were killed by a boss mob, or just the level of the mob if they've been killed by an elite zombie, and anything else is just dealt by default Minecraft settings. And there have been other changes made, but these are the more important ones. So if you're interested in checking out the full changelog, it is obviously available under the resource on Spigot. It is also available even more extensively on GitHub, and you can always just check out the Discord server that I link pretty much anywhere where I post these resources if you have any questions, suggestions, or anything of that nature. But yeah, for now, this is pretty much... Oh! Hang on. No, it's not. Because there is one more thing. And that's this. This is the unique item, Zombie King Axe. And much like the Zombie King, when you kill the Zombie King, the only thing that is a certainty it will drop is this axe. And this axe can do this. Now, it is slightly glitchy at times. Most of the time it's just perfectly fine, but when you have high latency to the server, it can be a little bit dodgy, and that's just Minecraft in general. But yeah, as you can see, it's an axe. I mean, it deals damage to mobs. It deals... It's exactly an exact copy of the power, and as you might notice, the durability has been going down. So you should only get 8 uses out of it before it dies. It is quite powerful on its own. It does have sharpness 10. It is customizable. The only thing not customizable about it is removing the power it has, the unique power, because at that point, honestly, you're not really dropping anything of interest. You might as well just disable it, which you can do. But yeah, I believe, if I am not mistaken, that aside from perhaps mentioning that during the Dead Moon event, every zombie that spawns is an elite mob, I think that's pretty much all of the important things that I had to mention. And as the sun rises and dawn rises, the Dead Moon wanes for those still alive, meaning the event is over. And that's pretty much it for the 6.3 update, and I'll perhaps see you for the 6.4 update. Thanks for watching.